Hello, this is Dr. Katrina Esau. I am the creator and founder of Whole, Wives Healing Openly, Leaving Him Exalted, with the Him being the one and only Jesus Christ. Today, I am going to share a little bit on one of the topics that we actually cover in the Whole Academy, which is forgiveness. The name of the course is Forgiveness. It's Time to Heal. But today, I'm just going to share the top three strategies to forgive. And if you haven't heard of the Academy is created and designed just for women who have been impacted by infidelity, and not just women, but wives specifically, that have made the decision to stay in their marriage and to fight for it. I help wives overcome the barriers and the stigma that are associated with infidelity and cheating, and also help them by creating programming that cultivates healing and forgiveness. Let's go ahead and get started today. So here's just a little bit about me, and I'm not going to read through all of this. As I've already stated, I'm the creator and founder of Whole, which is Wives Healing Openly, Leaving Him Exalted. And this was birthed after coming face to face with infidelity in my own marriage 17 years ago. Thankfully, my husband and I have had our marriage restored, and we've been together now, just recently celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. So it is my mission in life to help other wives to overcome the hurt, the pain, the barriers, the guilt, the shame, and all of that nasty stuff that comes with cheating and infidelity. So today I'm going to talk about three things: identifying what forgiveness is not, examining the process of forgiveness, and then identifying the barriers of forgiveness. And each of these are very important when you talk about striving and when you talk about progressing and moving forward in your healing process. Because the thing of it is, as I've shared on occasion, is forgiveness is the foundation, it's the bedrock. And if you can't get past the unforgiveness in your marriage, if you can't get past that step, it's going to be real hard to rebuild a marriage. And so you want your union to be built on a solid foundation, not on sinking soil. So I'm just going to talk a few minutes about each of these items. So, what forgiveness is not? Forgiveness is not becoming the victim to the offense or the offender. Oftentimes, women feel like, if I forgive him, I'm excusing the behavior. I'm saying that it was okay to treat me the way you did. I'm saying it was okay for you um, to violate our marriage covenant, to violate what we said that we were in, you know. And also, a lot of times women feel like, if I forgive you, then that means I have to forget what you did to me. And then basically it stems because we've been taught, I'll forgive you, but I'll never forget. And so that's not real forgiveness, because you are making a conscious choice to hold on to that hurt. And the thing about forgiveness is you have to start forgiving by making the choice to forgive, and understanding that when you do that, that person has the propensity to hurt you again. And not just next week, next month, or next year. They can literally hurt you in the same day. So you have to make a conscious choice that you are going to walk in forgiveness, that you're not going to hold on to it. Because the thing of it is when you hold on to unforgiveness, it turns into bitterness, and you start resenting. You resent your spouse. You start resenting even just the union that you all have. Sometimes it's just a look, like, just the very look of them makes you sick to your stomach, makes you angry. And so you don't want to live a life like that. You want to get to the root, and you want to dig that thing out so that you can truly heal. You don't want to deal with symptoms. And when you walk around with unforgiveness, you're really just, treating the symptoms of the matter. You're not getting to the root of it. And so I want to help you walk in true forgiveness so that you no longer have the negative emotion tied to the event. It's not that you'll never remember what was done to you, but you shouldn't feel negative. There shouldn't be a negative emotion when you think about it. When a trigger happens or when you have a memory, you shouldn't, feel like you're depressed. You shouldn't sift off into or drift off into a deep, dark place. You should not want to go hide in a corner. You should be able um, to be in a place where you're neutral and even smile about it. I look back at some of the stuff that I endured, as I walk through my journey, and my husband and I can laugh at it now. I couldn't do that 17 years ago, by no stretch of the imagination. But now, I can look at certain things, or I can have a memory or a recollection of something and not get so angry, not feel like I needed to be alone or go on these quiet spells for days at a time because I was hurting on the inside and didn't know how to communicate it. The other thing, forgiveness is not, it's not a feeling. Like, you're not going to feel some kind of way. You're not going to feel magical because you made the choice to forgive. Oftentimes you may feel more anger than anything, but when you make up your mind to forgive, just know that it's a process. It can't be conditional. It can't be, well, I'll forgive you if you do this. I'll forgive you, if you don't cheat on me again. I'll forgive you, if you delete the phone number. I'll forgive you if you, do chores around the house, whatever. It can't be based on a condition. You have to do it solely because you've made up in your mind that I want to walk in forgiveness no matter what. And again, it's not something that's going to happen quickly, not always, especially it really just depends on the level of hurt. And cheating and infidelity hurts. It's akin to trauma. It's like the death. You're literally grieving the death of what was. And so that is very traumatizing, and it can take you some time to get past that. And so knowing that in the beginning helps you to walk through the process. And I like to refer to that process as acts. So first, you're going to acknowledge, then you're going to confess, turn it over to God, and surrender. And when we talk about forgiveness, I believe that it has to be applied in at least three areas. So usually there's going to be some forgiveness that you have to do toward God, some toward yourself, and then the person that offended you, which in this case would be your husband. Now, keep in mind that could also be children, it could be parents, it could be anybody. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit why. So, with me, when it happened, yes, I had to forgive God because number one, I didn't understand how He allowed something like this to happen to me. I did not understand. As a child of God, as a believer, why would I have to walk through this? Why would He allow somebody to hurt me? Because He knew, and I'm his favorite, and you let this happen to me. So I was hurt. So I had to forgive God because I knew that I couldn't do it without Him. There is no healing without God, in my opinion. Others may feel differently, and that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. I had to forgive myself because number one, I was very hypocritical. I thought just because, I was the one going to church, I had the stronger relationship with God, all these things. I was always talking about me and and building myself up when I was no better than my husband was because, in my anger and trying to get back at him, I made the same error. And so two wrongs don't make a right. So I had to forgive myself. And then I had to forgive my husband. Some of you may have to forgive parents, because maybe your parents or the person that raised you modeled a certain behavior and taught you that it was okay to allow certain things to happen, or maybe they modeled that you should not put up or tolerate some things. So you just really have to take a look at yourself and really have to do some self reflection and just analyze what do you need and who do you need to forgive and for what. So that's part of your whole acknowledgement process, and then just being truthful about the offense and what caused the hurt, who committed the offense, being truthful about that, and then confessing. Sometimes you're not in a place to where you can necessarily speak to that person your truth about your emotions and the hurt. So if you're not at that place to where you can have an open, real conversation with your spouse or parents, children, or whatever, you would just journal that. Journal how you're feeling. And I mean, journal it just like you were talking to them. That's a form of releasing. You're getting it out. And then you have to turn it over to God. Ask God to place forgiveness in your heart toward the individual. And again, remember, it's not a feeling. So you're not going to feel some magical way when forgiveness, true forgiveness have kicked in. You're going to have to trust the process and surrender. Allow yourself to heal. The act of forgiving the individual is the first step, and we do that fairly quickly. But healing from the pain of it is going to take some time. And just know that and give yourself that time. Don't feel like you got, like, oh my God, I said I forgive him today, but tomorrow I'm angry. That's okay. You still continue to do that. And your prayer may become, God, place forgiveness in my heart toward my husband. Because sometimes we just cannot, we cannot do it, but we can surrender and ask God to place the forgiveness there. And then we have to receive it though. We have to receive that forgiveness and extend it. So it's doable. The next thing I'm going to talk about is barriers. Some barriers to be aware of is the pain. Again, you can hurt so bad to where it's like, I just cannot forgive you. Like, I don't know how to get past this. Like, literally feel like you just punched me in the jugular, like you took the wind out of me. Like, I'm hurting that bad, especially, when it's fresh, when it's new, like it hurts. I always say the pain of infidelity, it's like none other. Like, I have lost very close family members and friends, and that hurt like hell, but it does not compare to the pain of being cheated on. And so that can be a barrier to you forgiving because that pain is there and you haven't healed from it. Your emotions is a barrier. Again, you can be up today, down tomorrow. I'm happy, I'm sad. And you can go from all of these emotions all in the span of a day. My emotions were all over the place when I walked through, and I got counseling because I was tired of my emotions leading me. I was tired of my emotions guiding me. And so you have to do what's necessary so that you can heal. And because you suppress it, because you avoid it, that's not healing with it. That's not healing. You can't just forget it and think that it's going to get better. It doesn't work like that. And then you have to watch who's in your ear. Who are you listening to? Because that can guide whether or not you're going to forgive. I always remember hearing, like I shared earlier, I'll forgive you, but I'll never forget. I knew that, I'd seen my mom walk through cheating. That's why her and my father divorced. And my mom was one of those, she's done. That was a deal breaker, which is why it was a deal breaker for me. And it was like there is no coming back from it. And so you have these things modeled to you, and you act out the same thing. So you have to be careful of who's in your ear. Is that girlfriend telling you, girl, I won't put up with that, or you need to leave him? That might not be the friend that you need to listen to, especially if you've made a decision that you're going to fight for your marriage. Is it going to be easy? No. Can you do it? Absolutely. And so you need positive people speaking to you. You need positive things. And that goes for music. If you're listening to music where it's talking about is side chicks and this kind of thing, that's not building you up. You need something that's going to build up your inner man. And so that's very, very important, is who's in your ear, whether it's music, a friend, parents, whoever, it doesn't matter. And if you have to cut some people off, cut them off, do what you got to do so that you can heal. So that's the end of the top 3 strategies of how you can walk in forgiveness. For more information on this course or to enroll in it, please visit the website www.thewholeacademy.com. You can also get to the academy by visiting my main website, which is www.drkatrinaesau.com. Thank you for your attention today.